Thank you, buddy. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday and happy Halloween. Today is such a lovely day. I'm just sharing some Palo Santo with you, some little smudge, a little smoke, a little love, cleansing, a little clearing to prepare you for this beautiful full moon energy, just to kind of get you bump started. I know this morning I was super lagging. Carlos, good morning or good afternoon. This actually isn't my costume. I normally wear this every day. I'm just kidding. No, but I do. So how are you doing today, Carlos? I'm super excited for Halloween. I'm like so super excited. Just want to send you guys some smudge and love, some good energy, some high vibrational energy. Got my black kyanite right here so we can reach higher levels of communication. Open up them gates. And I have my alien skull here. Woo-hoo. Looking good, looking good. I'm actually doing very well, Carlos. I've just been kind of doing my thing and hanging out and doing readings and just, going with the flow. So yeah, you know what? I didn't really think of a topic today, but I'm thinking we got some good Halloween stuff going on. People are, hopefully being safe out there. I doubt we're having any trick-or-treaters or anything. I saw a bunch of people that had posted on Facebook how they were cruising around with their families last night, like get-togethers, that kind of thing. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on here. So anyways, yeah, man, life is good. Life is good. Things are moving along. We're just kind of functioning, getting through like this. This time change is going to be super crazy too. I'm feeling it already. So, I mean, I know like we lose an hour of sun, but we're actually gaining an hour of sleep. And that's pretty cool in itself. So I'm pretty happy about that. The blue full moon too. That's very lovely. The energy. I saw a bunch of people posting pictures last night of the moon and how beautiful it was. And a friend of mine on Facebook had posted some pictures, and she lives locally on one of the reservations out here. And it was so beautiful. The pictures. I swear, it looked like there was like spirits, like ghosts coming like around the full moon. I'll ask her if I can share her pictures on my page, but it was so unreal. And they were just like around the moon. They look like clouds, but some of it didn't look like clouds. It looked like it was like smoke, like white misty smoke almost. I mean, it was just like amazing. And I told her, I said, those are our ancestors dancing around the full moon, getting ready for big celebrations. And it was just amazing, the pictures that she had. So, and then last night when Keith got home, I went outside and I saw that the moon was beautiful. I mean, it was just awesome. It was just awesome. So anyways, today, I'll see if I can share those pictures to my Facebook and because it's in Valley Center where it's like country, real beautiful country, the skies go on for days at night, especially during a full moon. It's like you could practically reach out and touch the moon. It's like that clear, that beautiful. So yeah, it's been really amazing. The activity that's been going around. A lot of people, I understand, are having more experiences than they really had before. I know Keith has been having more experiences, like more spirits coming and talking to him as well. In fact, we discussed it, Debbie and I kind of brought a little bit of it up yesterday, that Keith and I had this one spirit come last week, just the other day, the other day. And it was very weird because she was like angry, but she's like at our bedroom window, and she was kind of like, so I pushed her back to like the sidewalk area, and I put a wall, protection around the whole property, that kind of thing. And it was really weird because I know who she is. We both know who she is and stuff. And she's just getting a little aggressive. And I thought, okay, so anyways, this morning when we did our meditation, I said, okay, I'm going to help you today. Today I will be able to communicate with her, so that I can kind of see how I can help her if she wants to cross over. And well, the thing is that she was murdered. And the situation about that is that we did a little investigating of her case and stuff, and she kind of, it's kind of like open and closed. Well, I mean, the case isn't closed, but it's kind of like off and on, because she comes and then she goes, and then she comes and then she goes. But then she's really like, she's like been hanging outside. Like, she's able to just be able to be here, and not just like be coming and going. It's kind of like, when a spirit comes in and they're just like, okay, this and that, and you're able to talk with them, but then she like leaves. So I think, however, she well, the way that she's angry is that she gets like aggressive, and she's just kind of like impatient. She becomes, I can see it in her face. I can see it in her face where she's like, listen to me. You're going to listen to me. And I see that she kind of shifts to, like, her face is shifting. It's not like she is, her vibration is completely out of whack. So what I mean by that is that her vibration is not like soothing. It's not like, hello. It's not like that. It's like very anxiety, like a lot of anxiety, but it also at the same time, it's very demanding. It's one of those energies you're like, wait, you know what I mean? When somebody walks in the room and they're just like pissed off, and you're just like, whoa, hey, I'm going to avoid that person. That's the kind of energy that she's putting out. You know what? We know who did it. Well, I mean, everybody knows who did it, but they just can't put it, they can't, lock it down, whatever, because they can't find her body. So I think that's kind of why she's here. But anyways, it's one of those things that that a lot of people are getting, some of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some people are able to, tap into those energies more than they were before. Like, Keith would be able to like sense things and stuff like that, but she actually showed herself to both of us in our head. We both described her at the same time of what she looked like, and he was just like, holy crap. So we knew that we were both, because I'm like tripping, and plus my dog, Gypsy Rose, she's very sensitive. She kept like not whining, but just kind of like, she would look out the window and she'd kind of like not growl, but she's a husky, she'd be like, she'd be kind of like weird. And she was like that. Keith and I stayed Wednesday night. We stayed at the casino Wednesday night, and my dad, when we got home, my dad said that she had just been barking all night, just like really weird, like, and she normally doesn't. She doesn't care, she's like, whatever, But anyways, so the energy is there. It's one of those things where I kind of, I addressed her to, last night, and I said, look, I will, we'll do this. Well, this is the thing too, Carlos. It's like, we have our dog, Gypsy Rose, our husky, and then the neighbors has dogs as well. Hi, Debbie. Thank you. The neighbors' dogs have been acting super weird lately too. So it's the full moon. It's the spirits coming through. It's a bunch of different activity that's going on. Now, I normally just kind of like, I call on my spirit guide, I call on Chief Mojo Rising, and I ask my grandmother, or the three chiefs, or whoever. And I'm like, okay, there's, the waiting room of souls that want to cross over. So, we make it a group effort, that kind of thing. I haven't been doing that lately because I've been busy. Absolutely. My fault. I take 110%. responsibility for that. Yeah, Debbie. So anyways, so I fully, yeah. And see, Gypsy is not a barker. So I know that I need to, like, now, especially that the veil's been super thin, I'm like, okay, dude, I gotta handle this. So tonight I'm going actually to the coven with the ladies. We're going to celebrate. First, we're going to have tea, and then after that, we're going to, hang out tonight, and we're going to help do these different things, to help cross those over, and because we are at the end of the month, so it'll be very nice. And plus, Dia de los Muertos tomorrow. The Day of the Dead, for those, we honor those. And then we helped to cross them over, or just cherish our ancestors that have passed on, our loved ones, family, friends, all that kind of thing. Yes, Debbie. Okay, so yesterday, Debbie and I were talking, and Gypsy was just like barking yesterday. And she never barks unless she like really wants something. I mean, she had already like snack, she had eaten earlier a little bit. So she just gets like, I want your attention, that kind of thing. But it has to be like something that's like not, I mean, it's just weird. It's just different. Because like sometimes she'll just be bark like once or twice, and she'll be like, all right, I want to come inside. But yesterday she wouldn't shut up, huh, Debbie? Yesterday she was on a sick one. She just kept barking, barking, barking. And sometimes I hear her outside. She's just kind of like, like how huskies do. She just kind of like, she starts talking, like kind of just weird. So I don't know. I don't know what she's doing out there. I don't know who's out there. Maybe, I don't know. We had another dog named Geronimo. Maybe Geronimo's back there hanging out with her. I have no idea. But she is very, she's sensitive herself too. So, well, like all animals are. But anyways, so I know that Debbie has had a lot of activity as well lately too. So I mean, I know that there's people, other sensitives, other mediums, seers, whatever. I just call everybody sensitive because they're sensitive to so many different things. But I know that there's been a lot of people out there that have been having more not paranormal, or just kind of like more spirits coming around, more activity. I know Debbie's had activity, but it's just been very weird. It's been very weird. This entire year has been very odd. A lot of different things going on. I know the last few women that I have spoken to, these last few readings that I've done over the past couple of days, it's been very, very hard for a lot of people. A lot of people are coming in, how do you say, into their spirituality, like they're becoming into their sensitivity. And one of the ladies that very, very sweet lady that I had spoken to last night, some people are psychic and don't even know it. I mean, Debbie, for sure, sister, yesterday when we did our show, when we did our Friday show at 3:00 on Psychic Fixes, how many sensitives have we like brought out of the sensitive closet? They had no idea. Like they've been told, or they had thought something was weird, or, something was up. A lot of people are being like stretched and being bumped into spirituality and had no idea what they're going through or why things are like different now. I mean, it's hard for them to put their finger on it. So, yeah. Carlos, remember like before when I told you earlier, months back, it's like, you know what, you're being stretched. A lot of people are having to face things they're not ready for in order for them to move forward in their spirituality. But at the same time, I mean, honestly, I have been doing a lot of work lately, self-work, by and including doing these shows and stuff like that, being able to speak to people, being able to help them, in different ways. Just like I know Debbie. I mean, I don't know if you want to call them growing pains, or if you want to call them whatever you want to call them. It's just kind of like the energy that we've been running and running and running, and by doing all of this work that we've been doing, it's very tiring. And if we don't take care of ourselves as seers, as mediums, whatever we want to call ourselves, however you define yourself, I'm not one of those that I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's what I tell people. I'm a Jill of all trades, and because I'm still learning, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're all still learning. So what's really weird is that, excuse me, yesterday I was like, I had done like some readings back and forth, and now I totally know like what Debbie was talking about, being like super, super tired. Last night I was so dog tired. It was like incredible. I don't think I could have done one more reading yesterday. So I totally, totally understand what you're talking about, Debbie, because I was like shot. Last night, I was like, holy crap. And then I wake up this morning and then my honey bunches of oats passes away. Bless his heart. Oh my gosh. We just watched Indiana Jones too. My Sean Connery, rest in peace, Sean Connery. What a time to die. Beautiful, Halloween. The spirits are alive, bless his heart and his family. He was always one of my favorites, anyways. So yeah, we've all been doing some kind of energy work, and Carlos, you're probably feeling a lot more tired than what you normally are. I am the nap queen, but lately I've been like, I need a nap, but I need to get my butt up queen. And like this morning, I mean, I woke up early, but I was still just so tired. I mean, just doing all this, it's like, eek. I'm like, it's Halloween. I love this time. I'm like, but I need a nap. So, but anyways, yesterday we did our show. We did our readings on our shows, and there was so many new people that had come along, and it was just super cool. It was totally awesome. So, anyways, anywho, I'm kind of in the mood to do some readings now. I'm feeling kind of spunky. I had my Diet Coke. I'm feeling a little awake right now. And so I guess everybody's probably like going out doing trick-or-treating stuff today, or, hanging out with their families and stuff. So, which is a good thing. And, oops, sorry. I don't know if you guys saw that doll back there, that Day of the Dead doll. That's my grandmother. That's Nana. You know what it is? Truly, honestly, Keith and I, we didn't even buy any candy because we didn't expect any kids to come. We're like, we were at Costco and we were going to buy a big old bag of candy for like $20 or whatever. And I thought to myself, I go, you know what? I don't think we're going to have trick-or-treaters this year. Honestly, I don't think we're going to have any. So I'd probably eat all that chocolate and then be in trouble after that. So, Halloween is just, it's not what it should be, but you know what? We do what we can with what we got, right? I mean, this is how I have fun. This is how I dress up. This is what I'm wearing to the tea room. With the coven, we're gonna go have tea after this, and we're gonna see what the city of San Diego's got on the witch's brew. So, anyways, oh really? Oh my gosh, that's so fun! Your kids are waiting to go out there. Is this Grizel? Is this Grizel? But anyways, my kids are waiting to go out there. 12. Oh, see how sweet. See, and I love. Remember Halloween as a kid? You trick or treat. You'd go out with your families, and you could just hang out. Everybody would like eat junk or whatever, and then people started doing stupid stuff to the candy. So then we all had to take it to the hospital so they can X-ray and all their candy and blah blah blah. I mean. Even back in the day. Oh, hey, Tisha. Hi. Okay, Tisha, I got you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Tisha, that's right. You got little ones. Well, they're not that little, but it's so crazy because Halloween has changed so much that we're not really like back in the day, man. Kids can go by themselves. The family would just hang out, those kind of things. And I think those are the times that I miss the most, because you didn't have to fear so much, or you didn't have to worry so much, and everybody knew their neighbors, that kind of thing. And kids could just be kids. It's not the way it is now. It's like, don't let them go. I know I haven't even seen my granddaughters and see what they're gonna wear today. I haven't even, you know, or maybe they did last night or something. I have no idea. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm like just super, super excited. I love Halloween regardless. This is just another day for me to just, I don't know, come out of the witch closet and not really worry about what people think. I mean, it's not like I really worry anyways, but meh. So has anybody, so I know Carlos has been watching scary movies. I've been seeing that. Um, Hi, Kate. How are you, sweetheart? Um, I haven't watched. I love the new Halloween, the last Halloween that came out with Michael Myers and the whatever, I don't know, with the daughter and the granddaughter and stuff like that. And she's being, I think when the granddaughter graduates or whatever. Anyways, that was the last one I saw. I haven't seen really any scary movies lately, which is cool. Whatever. I mean, we got like Netflix and Hulu, and we have like all these, was it Amazon? Just all that nonsense. But it's just like they're all like showing the same stuff. Um, but that's about it though. So I'm just kind of waiting to see other people are going to show up, maybe do some readings or something. Or so, I mean, what are you guys doing for Halloween besides staying home? I know some of us have our grown kids and they're gone, or just kind of hanging out, doing your own thing. Those games we did the other night was super cool. Wednesday night, those games were like really neat. I learned a lot that night. Um, Bram Stoker, that's like my all-time favorite. What else? So yeah, a lot of people I think are staying and watching movies. Keith has to go to work tonight, so oh yeah, I love popcorn. You know what? Keith and I were talking about going to the movie theaters. Like, I don't know, like what movie theaters are even open, but we keep seeing on YouTube they have these previews for these scary movies and Fandango or something like that. Like all these movies that are coming out, but they're all like not until freaking next year. They're not coming out until if they're even going to come out. So they're still filming movies, but the movie theaters are just not even open anymore. We're on tier 3, so no kids are allowed to go. Oh, really? Kate says that they're on tier 3, so I guess that's like a keep yourself home and your family. And wow, you know what? Somebody, where did I read it? Somebody was saying something about a curfew. I don't remember where that was. Something about a curfew that people can't go out after a certain time because it's. I mean, maybe it was somewhere else. I don't know. I just do me. Maybe next year I'll oh, go to the Santee Drive-In. You know what? I've heard that. And Keith works over here on the coast. So he actually there where the Del Mar Fair is, they have like concerts there, and people hang out in their cars, and they have like people that come or whatever, or like a DJ or something, but it's like country music, whatever. And then they have the drive-through. Hey, did anybody go through to a drive-through haunted house? They have one right here in Del Mar, in that area where Keith works at the Del Mar Fair. And it was super killer. I heard it was really scary. I wouldn't go because I'd be pissed if somebody scratched my car. But I heard it was like really good, but it was super expensive. Because they charge like for the car and per person. So some kind of nonsense like that. So I'm like, no, I'm good. Because if you scratch my car, I'm gonna be pissed. So we decided not. Well, I wouldn't go anyways, but whatever. Wow. Yep. They said we're on full lockdown from Thursday. Ever since Thursday. Oh my gosh, these poor kids. Man, you know what? And that's so weird too, because here where I live in Escondido, the kids went back to school. I think my granddaughters are back in school again. And I thought, what the heck? Because I know at one of the schools they just shut down one of the schools again because one of the kids tested positive. So I don't know what they're doing. I'm full I think all kids should be in school because when they're at home, I don't like the creepers that get into their schooling, that log on to their schooling stuff or whatever, those creepers that hack into the system. But then again, I don't like a lot of that because you don't know who's tapped into your laptop or your computer. You know what I mean? You know, computer hackers. Those kind of people that like to see your business. They can log into your stuff. I'm so old school, dude. I just love for our kids to be safe, go to school, just be kids. 'Cause kids can't even be kids anymore, for God's sakes. It's disgusting. Oh, see, the kids are allowed to go to school. Okay, that's awesome. Kids go to short days for just a few days every week. Yeah, see, because I know they miss that. They probably miss their friends. They miss, just being around other kids. Plus, they're probably sick of their parents too, right? I mean, yeah, the stay-at-home moms are like, yeah, I love my kids, but put them back in school because but kids need to be around other kids so they know how to relate, so they know how to have friends and stuff like that. So, but I also look at this as a lesson for kids to be let's look at the preciousness of friendship, relationships, how important we truly are. That whole bullying in school is just super super sad. All of those horrible things that have happened to children and teenagers, and all these schools. Let's just hope and pray that one good thing would come out of this, that the kids finally start respecting each other and being kinder to one another, and understanding that we're all important. We're all in this together, and things that we may have said or done in the past, like the bullies or whatever, those kind of kids come around, and they see the light of day. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those things where, you know, bullies are made from either, home life or things that just, they just feel that the world's against them for, they just can't catch a break anywhere, or they're not getting some kind of support from the ones that they want it from the most, or however their situation may fall, however it may be, whatever it is. I just set that intention today for, hopefully they find the love that they're looking for, the peace in their heart, and the ability to be able to just, thrive and love and all that other good stuff. So, also, another topic that I kind of wanted to talk about today was, have you taken flowers to your family at the cemeteries? I think I'm going to go do that. Yesterday, I brought that up. Kate, you were saying that your family is in Scotland, right? So I'm going to go I'm going to go take my grandmother some flowers at the cemetery, and I'll take a little extra, just, for your family too. Let's do that. Let's make that happen. Hmm. Mm, Carlos, yes, You know what? I haven't watched it, but I seen the previews to that. It looks very interesting. It looks very interesting. Okay, now let's talk about. I'm glad you brought that up, Carlos, because let's talk about this. The girl in the original Craft, the movie, right? What is her name? Oh, bless your heart, Kate. That's beautiful. Kate said she lit a candle for her family, for her passed on loved ones, which is beautiful. That's another way to honor them. They love candles. They love candles. So this new movie, or the old movie, what was her name? She was a creepy. She had the black hair. She was like the bad one, the bad seed. Anyways, I had seen her on. I can't remember what it is, like Paranormal with the Stars or something like that. So all these people, like all these movie stars, they've had like all these paranormal. Is that her? Okay, Nancy. So they've had all these paranormal events, but she's like into the dark arts herself, right? I mean, that's kind of how I understood it. I think that's what Keith told me, that she's kind of like, she's dabbled in those kind of things regardless, anyway, she's kind of into that thing. But anyways, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but it's kind of like, she was on the show. Oh, really? She had her own occult store? See? Mm-hmm. See, I didn't know that. But I mean, she fit the part. Like, like super. She like totally fit the part. So, but I saw that show. Keith and I watched it, and she was like into some heavy stuff. I mean, like the spirits that came to her and that kind of thing, because I think a lot of it she might have conjured up herself, obviously. But I think that, I've seen that one that one show where they have different things happening with different movie stars. I saw Meatloaf was on one, and I can't remember the other ones. There was just like a bunch of people in Hollywood. Of course, Linda Blair, the little Reagan, she played Reagan in The Exorcist, her whole deal too. Like that, but that whole set, total another story, man. All those sets are totally cursed, right? I mean, look at that. You go from what was it, The Crow, right? Bruce Lee, his son on The Crow, those things happen. Do you believe that there was a curse, or do you believe it was just somebody doing something shady? Okay. How about who else? What was that movie? The Conjuring. Poltergeist is another one, right? People go poltergeist, and like even the Native American guy passed away. They all like mysterious. Even Carol Ann, the little blonde girl, how she passed away, like an intestinal issue. Like how does that happen? I mean it does. I mean it does happen, but I mean, just weird things. And this comes to the thing that I always discuss too. Like Debbie and I were discussing, whenever we go to a, what do you call it? Graveyard, gravesite, paranormal. Whenever we do anything paranormal, I know I speak for myself and only myself. When I go do a paranormal thing or something, I go to a cemetery, I go just kind of hang out and speak with spirit. Like even just when we go take flowers to Nana, to my grandmother, spirits, they come out and they want to talk. But anything that I do before I even drive onto the hollow ground, before I even drive past the gate, we always stop and we say a prayer. Keith and I, we stop and we say a prayer because we are sensitive. We are here out of respect. We are here to visit our passed on loved ones. We are here in nothing but respect and love. And we mean no harm. All these things that we go through, we are here to honor and respect you all. If there is somebody, if there's anyone, any spirit that would like to come and talk to us, or get a message across, or just want to speak, we are here. We are available for you, but we are not here to, you know what I mean? It's just, I always do. Because I know what people do when they go out to cemeteries or anywhere. They bring forward. I know what I see it. I see it when I close my eyes. I can see who's been there, done what, and it's really upsetting because it really upsets the whole idea of resting in peace. And this is something that I'm not down with. I don't understand it. I'll never get it. People are curious. I get people are curious. I get it. But at the same time, it's like they have no freaking idea what they're doing. For those that do know what they're doing and they're conjuring these things, yeah, Ouija board, absolutely. They start screwing with higher elements, other forces. They start calling things that they shouldn't be calling because they want to awaken whatever they want to awaken, and they call out on, then they get it and things go awry and they have no idea what they're doing. Like I always tell people, once you open that freaking gate, dude, once you open that door, that's on you. And if you don't know how to shut it, I mean, it's not like you just open up the door and it's just like, oh, hey, they're the spirits are like peeking in, like, hey, what's up? Sorry, false alarm. Okay, I'm gonna go back in. No, that shit's open. It's open. That's how they create portals. People that are conjuring things, and say you do a seance. Say you do a seance, you open it up, somebody spooks, they walk away, they take their hands off the Ouija board, they do certain things like that. Guess what happens? They open a portal and they're not even able to shut it because they don't even know what they've conjured in. They don't even know what they've had come in. They're just sitting there like, and it may not even show itself. They may not even act up right away. It may take a day or two and they're just kind of like, hey, what's going on around here? Spirit comes in, or whatever they've conjured, entity, whatever you want to call it, comes in. Like the cat, the cat you can't see. All of a sudden you see things just start flying off you see movement in your house, you start hearing knocking and raps. Knocking is one. Knocking is a huge one. Just kind of noise, things moving, tapping. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I'm going to share the story with you too. This is top shelf stuff. Let me get a drink of this first. I'm going to share the story with you. This is a true story. Of course, all of you know my Nana, my grandmother, who she is. Nana was and still is an extremely religious, very diehard Catholic from the day she was born, went to Catholic school. She was on the altar society. My father, all of her children, my father included, they were all altar boys. They all went to Catholic school until the moment they went up, graduated and went to high school, which they went to the local high school, which there was only one at that time. My grandmother, being extremely religious that she was, and they say those that are completely closer to God, Spirit, whatever, the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, they're open to the higher realms as well. Because of their spirituality, their belief in the higher power, they become, I don't want to say targets, but they become more likable to, or more likely to be seen by other forces. Okay. So one night my grandmother was sleeping. She was, in bed, and she was just laying there. And she said that all of a sudden she felt somebody grab her feet, her ankles, and yanked her down on her bed. Like she was already laying down, but they grabbed her ankles and pulled her down to the bottom of her bed. And she said she got scared, of course. My grandmother was in her 80s, 70s, 80s. This is I don't know how many years ago, but it had been years ago, maybe 10 years ago. No, I'm sorry. She's been gone 9 years. So I would say maybe 20, 30 years ago. I mean, she was still up in age when it happened. And it was really weird because when she began to pray, and she's just, she said it stopped. And when she told me this, I thought to myself, holy crap, she is the most religious woman. I mean, from a child, we would go to Catholic church with her. And I mean, die hard. And I thought, how can this possibly happen to Nana, who is somebody that's extremely religious, who believes in Jesus, the almighty power, all this stuff is, but it's very true, because when you are that religious, when it comes to your spirituality, regardless of however what you believe in. When you are believing in such a higher power like that, you are open to many things because you believe in something that you can't see. Because, like, I mean, really, honestly, when you think of people, they say that Jesus was, they give the same picture that he was, Caucasian, that kind of thing. He was actually somebody that was not um, of what Muslim descent or something. I don't know. I don't want to talk religion, but everybody sees that. In other words, it's something like believing everything that you have inside of you, who you are. You're completely believing in somebody you've never seen. So that in itself is believing in higher power. So you're opening yourself up to, like, the spirit realm, the different areas where most people don't think that they would open themselves up to. So, anyways, long story short, my grandmother, she had seen, a few things in her day. But I remember when she told me that, because I was like, I never like, I don't ever like to dangle my foot off of my bed, right? I don't know why. Even though it came to her and grabbed her legs, whatever, while she was laying down, whatever it was. But I'm not one of those that likes to dangle my arms, my arm over the bed or my leg or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know how it affects you guys to think of things like that. Like, because you just never know what's under your bed. I know there's nothing, but it's just one of those things. Ever since my grandmother told me that had happened to her, I thought, holy crap! What would you do? What would any of you do? I'd be like, whoa, I'm gonna go sleep on my couch. I mean, honestly, because my grandmother had her altar. There's pictures of each and every one of the family members, me, my kids, all her children, and all this stuff. So do you believe that that is something that is possibly true? I mean, I've seen it. Every spiritual thing that I've ever learned, I mean, I learned a lot of it from my grandmother growing up. There was things that she would teach us without even me knowing she was teaching us that spirituality, that side of the coin, which I'm so grateful for. Because she knew this one lady that would she was into the darker, well, I don't know if you would call her, I think she was I believe she was like a witch, kind of like a gypsy witch, but she was not very kind. She was not very kind, and she was one that would do things for um, she would manipulate the energies to hurt people, to kind of take things from them, which is no, 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 in spirit, and this for the spiritual laws. No interference. You don't take from anybody else. You don't, you know what I mean? I mean, just these are just things you're taught as a child. But anyways, so there was times where my grandmother would find my aunt would go out there because there's something was off, and my grandmother knew. This is what gets me. This is what I love so much, and what I miss about her. She knew when the energy was off. And my aunt would get together with, I mean, well, they all lived there, right? Because my grandmother had big property. This is that. And it was very weird because when something was off, my grandmother knew. When just the energies were off. I mean, I couldn't even give you examples because my grandmother was just so like keen like that. She knew. And it was the weirdest thing because my aunt right away would go outside and she would look in the yard. And the best advice I can give any of you is that if you look around your house, around the windows, or maybe by your bedroom or something, you feel that the energy may be off, and if you feel you're being attacked by somebody or anything like that, anything weird, look around your house, around your property, look around, or like by the area, like close to the house, okay? Not like acres away, whatever, but close to the house, preferably under a window. If you see that there's any dirt that's been turned, like somebody's dug something, check into that dirt and see what's in that dirt. Because my grandmother, when she felt that energy was off and something was like over the house, or that energy was not nice, my aunt went outside and she dug in that dirt and she found it was almost like a person created of from chicken bones. And and it was very weird because, like, they knew they knew where it came from. They knew when it exactly when it got there. I mean, this is like unheard of. This is like, I've never told anybody the story. My sister knows a lot more stories, but I remember that my grandmother and my aunt discussing that, and it was the weirdest thing to me because I thought, holy crap, that's like major. That and I mean, seriously, my grandmother was this like hardcore Catholic. Like, everything to her was Jesus. Everything to her was God. Everything to her was like this higher power. And it's so weird because, like, right, okay, so now my grandmother's here. So she says, you know what, her belief and her spirituality in the higher power, in the Lord, is what saved her many a times. Not just from this one person, but from other people as well, from the other things that were there, like that thing that pulled her legs down. She thought it might have been that lady, that person that we were talking about. I mean, just many, many different things. But at the same time, it's like, you can believe in something so powerful like that higher power, like my grandmother did, diehard Catholic, diehard Catholic, till the day she passed. And it's so weird because how can those things happen to somebody who is just so like religious and just so like grateful and everything? I mean, she was grateful for the good, the bad, and the ugly. She's like, well, if that's the way the Lord wants it to be, then that's the way the Lord wants it to be. But He's gonna take care of me. And oh my gosh, I mean, she was so like, I wish she could have written a book or something of her life, or I don't know, maybe my sister still could, because she's got so many different stories, so many different things that she had seen and gone through. And somebody that is just so deep in their religion can still be affected, or can still be touched by something that is so way on the other side of her beliefs, is truly amazing to me. Because um I don't know. To me, I just think it's so freaking unheard of. I mean, I'm like, but her spirit, her belief in her God, her belief in God and in the higher power, she said, saved her many a times. And I'm like, if I would have found some chicken bones underneath my bedroom window, I mean, what do you do? I mean, what would any of you do? I'd freak out. I'd cry. I mean, I don't know what I would do. I mean, how do you take that off? Whatever that was put on. How do you? How would you even know? How would you even have that sensitivity to know exactly? Hey, something's not right. Let's go check the ground. How to, that you got to be so like in tune, with those kind of things. It's a lot different, like from when you're, say, um clearing out a house. Perfect example. You have somebody that's going to a business. You have a business, and you're like, well, why is my business not doing very well? Business is slow. It was like picking up. This is like no COVID involved. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, business is going good. Everything's totally legit. You're like, I'm super happy. Then all of a sudden, boom, business starts slowing down. You're just kind of like, wow, what's happening? Why is my business not going? I might have to shut my doors. I'm losing money. It's just super, super odd, right? Sometimes we admit our own energy into, say, our business, or into our own area. And perfect example, I was told that something was, a friend of mine had done this kind of energy work, and the reason why this specific person's business was not going very well, all of a sudden just like stopped, because when you're putting off the energy, like your business, and then you have your home life, right? Well, she wanted her business to be like home for everybody, right? She's like, oh, you know what? She wanted to give it that homely feeling, that like comfortable feeling, where it's like people would just come and feel just cozy and neat, blah, 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 that stuff, right? But at the same time, the owner of the business was saying, well, I want this feeling at work, but she's like, I don't want anybody in my home. So it was that energy that she was putting out that contradicted the other energy, because she said, oh, well, I want my homely feeling at work for everybody to feel like all warm and cozy. But at the same time, I don't want nobody at my house. So the minute she put that energy out, she was trying to treat her company like her house, her business like her house. So, but then she was saying, I don't want nobody at my house. So the minute that she was able to clear that energy and rechange up her words, and they were able to clear out that stuff that she had previously said, and, rebrand the energy and do all this other stuff, her business started picking up again. So sometimes when we do things, we're not really thinking about what we're saying. And then there are those that know exactly what they're doing, like that one lady. So words do mean a lot of things. Our intentions definitely mean a lot of things. And when we continuously say them over and over again in our heads too, that like instills those words. The mantra of the day is freedom for me. Every single day I wake up, freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom is my mantra, because I have the freedom to continuously come and go. The freedom to spend my money the way I want to spend my money, the way I earn my money. The freedom, it comes in many, many different ways. Okay. Yeah. Debbie, total psychic alarm. My grandmother was like spot on every single time. Oh yeah, see, and immediately contradict that energy. Absolutely. It was, you know what? I think my aunt ended up like doing something, and it was like, because it was like binded. It was like super, super, it was like hardcore stuff. So I don't know if I don't know if she burned it, or I don't know what she did. She found out what she had to do. So my aunt knew what to do. So it was just one of those things. But it comes in that same dynamic of, is your magic or your spells, whatever it is it meant to be offensive or defensive? How do you live your daily, whenever you're doing stuff like that, when you get into the spirituality and the I don't know if you want to call it witchcraft or whatever, the craft itself, So I suppose it has to happen to you to know how you react. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Kate. When my grandmother told me that, I was just kind of like, but see, I have a deep belief in religion as well. I was born and raised Catholic. So I know where I stand. I know where I stand. I'd probably do the same thing as my grandmother. Excuse me. But at the same time, it's like, I also know where not to step. And I think that's very important. I know not to be upsetting spirit. I know to respect spirit. I stay on the side where it is not necessarily just safe, but where it's respectful. Because I don't go taunting spirit. I don't go chasing spirit. I don't go, you know what I mean? I don't do those things to be like, hey, I'm over here. I'm not doing those things that most people feel that it's okay. And I'm not saying they're doing it because they're just rude or mean. Some people just really, they have no clue about what is really going on. They don't have no idea at what level they're stepping, and then they overstep, and they're like, holy crap, what did I just do? But by then it's already too late. So I am hoping and wishing that everybody has a very sweet and loving Halloween tonight. Of course, everything's going to be just fantabulous. I'm extremely grateful for each and every one of you. I am so glad you guys were able here, to come and join me on such a beautiful day. It's actually pretty nice in San Diego. It's like sunny and 75. I'm just kidding, like that country song. It's actually perfect right now. It's beautiful. The weather, it's I don't know, it's kind of like margarita weather, even though I don't drink, but anyways, I wish you all the best Halloween. I'm so grateful that you guys all came to spend your lovely Saturday with me. Don't forget, for those of you who have your what do you call it? Your crystals. Put your crystals out in the full underneath the full moon. If you have a mason jar, get your mason jar, fill it full of water, put it in the window as well underneath the full moon. You can have some of that full moon water so that you can add to tea, coffee, or put a little bit in your dog's, or your pet's bowl. Bless them that way. Also, what else? Howl under the full moon. Whatever you want to do. Whatever, speak to your spirit. Allow them to speak to you. Let them talk to you. Tell them how much you love them and you miss them. Say a little prayer for them. Just whatever's in your heart, man. They hear you, they see you, they love you, they guide you. They do all those wonderful things for each and every one of us. I know my grandmother does. She's like super happy. I don't know what she's up to, but she's super funny, man. I get a kick out of her. She spent most of the night chattering with me and some other lady, this young lady last night. It was hysterical. But anyways, I love you all. I'm so blessed. Debbie and I like to thank everybody for always coming and supporting us and just being super cool with us all the time. We love helping each and every one of you. We really love doing our Friday shows. Oh my gosh. At 3:00, our free readings. Holy moly. It's absolutely wonderful. We absolutely love doing those shows. So, and we'll continue to do those as long as we're here and walking on this side of the veil. So anyways, thank you very kindly. You guys have a wonderful Saturday, Halloween, and full moon. Stay safe and don't eat too much candy. We love you all. Good night.